Starting out, we have the Philadelphia City Hall. Standing at 167 blocks tall, it has a pretty interesting inner courtyard and is a pretty cool building overall, but there are much cooler ones coming later. Next up, we have the Singer Building, standing at 192 blocks tall. This building was unfortunately demolished in 1967, and as you will see, is the first of many buildings in New York City. I also just wanted to clarify that there are more than 10 buildings taller than this one, and that this video is about the progression of the tallest buildings in the world, not the absolute tallest. Now we have the Metropolitan Life Insurance Tower in New York City. Sitting at 213 blocks tall, this building actually has an addition planned for the top of it for office space. Let me know what you think about this. Me personally, I don't really have an opinion about it yet, but I do think it looks pretty interesting. Next up, we have none other than the Woolworth Building in New York City. Try saying that 5 times fast. This is the first building that I built that I actually really do like outside of Minecraft, and is one of the more recognizable buildings in New York City finally. I did say we were going to be staying here for a while. The detailing on this one was super fun, and I'm really glad how it turned out. If you're enjoying the video so far, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. It really does mean a lot to me. Up next, we have 40 Wall Street in New York City again. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this was probably my least favorite building to make on the list, primarily just because it's a little boring. However, one interesting fact about it is that this building was actually competing for the world's tallest with the next building on this list, which took it by surprise at the end of its construction. And here it is, the one and only Chrysler Building in New York City. This building, along with the Empire State Building, I think are the two most recognizable buildings in New York City and are defining features of the skyline. This building was fairly simple to make up until the spire, which was pretty challenging, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Next, we have the Empire State Building. Standing at 381 blocks tall, this building would barely fit in a vanilla Minecraft world. Now, I did hear that there is a 600th floor where you could reach Mount Olympus. Unfortunately, I did not build that today. Maybe some other time. Up next, we have the World Trade Center, standing at 417 blocks tall. Now, we're at builds that would not fit in a vanilla Minecraft world at 1:1 scale. As you might have expected, this wasn't the most challenging build, especially because of the simple shape, but I did spend some time getting the roof details correct. Finally, we are no longer in New York City. Up next, we have the Sears or Willis Tower in Chicago. This building is interesting because the antennas on top of it don't actually contribute to the height, which is the only reason why the next building on this list is actually considered taller than it, even though its highest occupied floor is much lower. Following the Sears Tower, we have the Petronas Towers, which are the tallest twin towers in the world. I do think it's quite an interesting building, but they're barely taller than the Sears Tower, and only so because of the spire. As you can see here, it's questionable if they are actually taller than the Sears Tower, but technically they are taller. Our second and last building is Taipei 101. I don't have a lot to say about this one except that it was a childhood favorite of mine, and I do think it looks pretty interesting. By the way, if you want to support the channel or are interested in these builds, all of the downloads will be on my Patreon in the description. Your support really does mean the world to me, and I'm truly grateful for it. Finally, we have the current tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa, located in Dubai. This building is 828 blocks tall, making it 318 blocks taller than Taipei 101. This means, at the time of construction, it beat out the previous tallest building in the world by nearly the Minecraft height limit. This was by far the most challenging and complex building of the video so far. Unlike most other buildings in the video, there wasn't a simple pattern that I could mirror or follow along. I had to individually detail and build the three sides of the building. When I was about 7 years old, I had the opportunity to visit the Burj Khalifa, and while I don't remember much from the trip, I do remember nearly burning my ear in a candle at a restaurant while looking up at the building. Now, for one last look at all 12 buildings.
They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me.